Hey there and welcome. My name is Drew and welcome along for this book review, which is something from the 1980s. Alright, there's the author there, Murray Rothbard. Famous, lived from 1926 to 1995, founder of modern libertarianism, dean of the Austrian School of Economics, author of 28 books. Alright, so, academic vice president, former, of the Ludwig von Mises Institute. So here's his book, Wall Street Banks and American Foreign Policy. Okay, so, let's see. Best thing I can say, if you want to be paranoid, read this book. If you want to be paranoid of the financial system, read it. Because this book is largely a giant conspiracy of very powerful Wall Street interests. And he goes into fine detail about names and so forth, the institutions, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and their very bad influence on our government, which is partly true. Now, of course, he leaves out the fact that in American history, we've had certain presidents that were followers and advocates of the American system of Alexander Hamilton, which he kind of lightly touches on when he calls McKinley an inflationist. Alright? So, that's a problem when you leave that out, because that's been the central issue of the fight over the British and Wall Street control over the United States versus these nationalists from these old Lincoln and John Quincy Adams circles. Alright, so that's been a big problem, and unfortunately he goes right into that, complaining about these evil Wall Street and British interests over U.S. foreign policy, which is partly true. But of course, I find it typical of libertarians to just lie out their ass. Because how can you come from a school of economic thought and something like libertarianism, as far as economics, which has been financed by Wall Street and the British Empire, and of course it came out of the Austrian Empire, in response to Germany's adoption of the American system of Friedrich List. Alright, so that's the kind of like general history of libertarianism, created by the British Empire and the Austrian Empire in response to Germany's adoption of the American system. That's where a libertarian, or the Austrian school, comes out of. And of course, here in this country, things like the Chicago School, which is a variant of it, that was started by Wall Street. So, how can you come from something that was created by Wall Street, at least here in the United States, and then have this book complaining about their undue control over economic policy and foreign influence, right? So do you see the problem? He leaves that out, but still complains about Wall Street. Okay, that's really it. There's not really that much to the book. It's not really that worth reading. I'm certainly familiar with all these names, being a political activist. Alright, and that's it. Okay, that's my review of Murray Rothbard's book, Wall Street Banks and American Foreign Policy. Alright, that's it. See you later. Bye.